Well, Christian didn't turn up, but a miracle has happened. I'm in zone one. How did that happen? That must have been a mistake. Anyway, here I am. I was 1 pixel out on the height. I think I went higher than the average. A little bit. But I went further to the left than the average. The average was further to the right. And I can't remember if it was higher or lower. But there I am, back in zone one. Happy with that. I have my £1.50 back. Yay! Right, let's have a look at the judging, because there's something I want to point out here. So here's the judging video, 8 judges this week. Nice cluster there, very much like ours was. And that's sort of the point I want to make. If you remember last Saturday's video, the Where's the Average video, we do a Saturday update. We had a cluster like this, and we had one cross very much almost exactly where that one is there, higher up and to the left. And I said at the time, I think one of the judges will go there. In fact, it's very likely that one of the judges will go there. But if the cluster is down here like this, they'll remove that for being too far away from the cluster before they work out the average. And that's exactly what happened. Let me show you a still from last Saturday's video. So take a look at this, see where the cluster is, and we got one up there to the left. Now we'll have a look at a still from last Saturday's video, and that's exactly the same as the judging video, where there's a cluster down here and there was one up there to the left. They judged it exactly the same as we did. So let's go back to the judging video. And I said they'd take that out before they did the average. Let's go back to the judging video. And here we are. I've skipped towards the end, and they've taken out Leo Donnellan's cross, which is the one up the top on the left-hand side. So basically, it played out exactly as we predicted it would play out. So what do I think of the judging? Well, I always say, it's irrelevant where I am. I can be in zone 3 and still think the judging is good, or I can be in zone 1 and think the judging was awful. If they've stuck to a cluster and they've all gone in the same area, I always think the judging was pretty good then, because they've gone to the same area. And of course they've taken out the stray ones, which sometimes it suits them not to bother. If they want the cross to be somewhere else, they leave the stray one in, which always winds me up. You've heard me ranting and raving before. And then the guy from Onside Law just does nothing, just sits there and looks and doesn't speak up. But yeah, the judging was all right. I couldn't see how they could get this one that bad, to be honest, because he's clearly looking more or less straight up. So the issue was always going to be the height, because this fella on the left, how high was it going to be? But there we are, zone 1, got my money back. I would imagine a lot of you done well this week, because well, if I was in zone 1, most of you would have been in zone 1 and I'd closest car or whatever, because I'm probably the worst of all of us. But let's have a look at this week's picture then, see how we're looking this week. So I've put my first cross in so far. I got to be honest, right? I was laughing for 10 minutes. I couldn't do the cross for 10 minutes because I was laughing when I looked at the fact that what it looked like to me was this fella on the right-hand side in a white shirt has just run past this little baby and farted in its face. Now, I know that's childish, but I'm still laughing at that now because I couldn't get past that, so I couldn't do the cross properly. But I'm getting past it now, so I put a cross, my first cross is there, and to me it looks like, I'll draw some lines here, he's looking more or less in a straight line across there. Do I think he's interacted with it? I think he might have nutted it. I think that's the angle of his body and his head. Looks like he's just nutted the ball. So I've got him in that direction there, more or less straight. Could be a little bit higher. I think some of the judges might go higher, but then if one or two go low, it'll balance out. So this guy, I think, is looking up in this sort of direction as well. Don't forget now, these are always photoshopped. It's not a real picture. They just added these two players in there randomly. There is no photo of these two, no original photograph of these two in the same scene with a ball, because it's not allowed to be. So that's where I think that is at the moment. I don't think this fella, I think this fella on the left in the stripes looks as though he's just running forward. because I think it's this fella. They're looking at the action on his body. He looks like he's just headed it. Otherwise, why would his head be at that angle? But that's just my interpretation of it. Everybody's got a different way of doing it. So I'll put that down as the first cross for Saturday's update video. So leave me a coordinate now for the weekend. We'll make another one, because this week I think was zone 1. It might have been just outside zone 1, but the average worked out well, because the whole point of the average is to see what everybody else is thinking, and everybody was thinking it was roughly the same area. So it was a good week to spend the money this week, or last week, whatever. So my cross for this week then is 26701287. I'll put that in the comments. And let me know you got on, because I think some of you did well. I'm going to check to see if the target works. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. The average works. And the target's working again. Of course, the average is there. It's the only cross. Right, okay, let me move that target down there and see what I think there. Are they looking at zone 1, zone 2 sort of area? At least zone 2. It's the best I can hope for. Yeah, he is. He's got to be looking in that zone 2 area, and he can't be looking outside it. Can't be sort of any higher or lower. What about this fella on the left? Yeah, he looks about it. So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave mine where it is there for now, and see what you guys have decided and how you interpret this picture throughout the rest of the week. Right, I still haven't won anything on Revcomps this year, so let's have a look at their current offerings. For Thursday's draw, I still only got one on this Lambo Hurricane, Performante and Range Rover Sport. I'm toying with the idea of doing a couple more tickets. What's putting me off is 50,000 tickets. Having said that, they sold 2/3 of them already. So, I don't know, what's that, roughly 34,000 tickets, more or less? They sold already, and yet you look at the Mini over here, and it was only 6,000 tickets for sale, and they've only sold 41% now. So people are loving this idea. I mean, it's the Lambo plus 100,000, or the Range Rover. You could have just that and 230,000, or you can take both of them and have £30,000 cash to run them, which wouldn't last long with those two cars, or a complete £300,000 cash in a pocket. Like I said the other day, I think I'd be tempted. I wouldn't buy a Range Rover out of my own money, but there would be a temptation there to say, yeah, drop me off the Range Rover and put 230 grand in the bank, because I'd have the spare cash then to fix it every 5 minutes. Although it'd still be under warranty, wouldn't it? I didn't bother with this Mini, didn't bother with the BMW. What have they added for next Monday then? Well, nothing there really caught my eye. There's some nice cars there, not disputing that at all, but 20,000 tickets for this Audi RS6. Lovely cars in RS6s. An RS5, don't know if you noticed the price on the tickets there, near enough 54 quid a ticket. And 1,000 tickets, so 54 grand in revenue for that. That comes with 3 grand. Volvo XC90, yeah, I didn't bother. I might have one in this camper van. That comes with 5 grand. That's always enticing for me, because otherwise I can't see what else I want to buy a ticket for just to be in Thursday's draw. Next Monday's draw, sorry, not Thursday. Not fussed on either of these. I'm more into the auto draws these days. This one's being drawn today. That's only 40 odd % sold. This Mercedes, that's a 1.5 diesel. There's something like 70 odd of the gallons, so supposedly they never do, but I mean, and it's quite nippy as well. Got one on this Mustang for the 45 grand cash. Didn't bother with this Can-Am Maverick. I did have one on this little Beats Volkswagen Up. I got a couple on this Audi S3 Quattro, because that looks a laugh. I've also got one on this BMW 335D. I don't know why, because when I looked at the road tax, it was something like £600 a year. So that was a mistake. Still, if I win, I win. I'm not going to be upset, am I? And I got one on this Mercedes GLB 200. Now, weirdly, that's a 7-seater, and it looks a chunk of a car. But when you look it up on Parker's spec check, it's actually a 1.3 engine in it. I mean, it's no slouch, but you'd think there's no way a big car like that would have a 1.3 petrol engine in it. But it has. So that's what I've done. I I'm on nearly all the auto, the daily auto draws, but hardly anything on the Monday and Thursday main draws. So that's me. I think that's all I wanted to cover. It's not time yet, is it? No, it's not the end of the month yet for the Auto Trader electric car giveaway. We've got another week and a half or so to go yet. I still haven't won that this year. I've never won that, in fact. So let me know how you got on and leave a coordinate, guys, and good luck to everyone.